Good evening, dear friends. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting to see you all again tonight. It sort of feels the last time we saw each other was really only about a month and a half ago. I'm so thrilled that you're able to tune in tonight. My name is Nicholas Viselli. I am the artistic director of Theater Breaking Through Barriers. And yes, we are coming to you very, very live from right in the heart of the Thunderdome, right here in Midtown Manhattan. And on behalf of all of our artists, I am so thrilled to welcome each and every one of you tuning in tonight to sort of a little an addendum to our third Playmakers Intensive, HPI3, DRAMAPHEMERA. But here's the addendum. The Lost Plays. I think you might have heard the last intensive we did was from April 28th through May 4th, and we presented 12 shows. 6 of those shows were presented virtually online from April 28th through May 3rd. And 6 of those shows were written and meant to be presented live before a studio audience. And it was our plan to present those shows live before a studio audience and stream them to you at the same time, simulcasting them, so you would get to see the entire presentation as well. Well, as it turned out, our Wi-Fi did not work in the studio we were performing, so we couldn't stream them to you. So anyone that tuned in on May 4th saw nothing. So I'm so excited that we can share this with you. I'm going to ask anyone who's watching on YouTube right now, because we are not having live captions tonight, if you could turn on your captioning on YouTube, you'll be able to get the auto captions. The play that the play that we had filmed that you're going to see is already captioned, so you don't really need to caption that. But before we start, I want to welcome our cast, our actors here, because they don't have to perform, they don't have to hide backstage. So I'm going to ask them all to come on, guys, and just say hello to everyone. Oh, there we go. This Anne Flanigan is in tonight's show. Steve Asher, our director. John Little, oh, the great John Little, and Phovan. Thank you so much for being here, all of you tonight. It's kind of strange for us because we usually don't do this at the beginning of a performance because you guys are sort of getting ready to perform backstage. Tonight, you don't have to perform. You just have to sit and watch your work. So, do you have any thoughts about this before we get started?
Kind
Steve?
of exciting to see what it looked like because the audience, it was so crowded in the audience. I got to see our performance from the very side of the auditorium, so it'll be good to see what it looked like straight on.
Yeah, it's interesting. It also is interesting because unlike our intensives where you perform and then you talk about it, it's a little different because now you have to watch your performances as opposed to talking about what it felt like to perform them. So I think that's interesting. So I hope that you all enjoy this. I'm going to beg your forgiveness in advance because we had our video camera that we usually record things for our own archives. And it's not the greatest video in the world. It's not like high definition studio quality, folks. So be aware of that. But the sound is pretty clean, and you'll get a definite feeling of what it was like on May 4th when you were there. And that's really what we wanted, to sort of share what it was like to be in front of an audience and to sort of get the audience's reaction to it all. So, all right, you guys, are you all ready? All right, let's
Yeah.
crank this baby up and get it started. We're going to ask you to turn off all of your video and mute your audio. And yeah, let me get this thing all started here. Where's my video file? Hello, there we go. All right, so the first tonight's piece is really it was a wonderful piece written by Charlie Quinn. Charlie's the first time he worked with us. Unfortunately, he could not be here tonight. but he really wrote a really wonderful piece for all of our artists, for John and for Anne and for Anne. And there's a lot to talk about here. So everyone sit back, relax, and enjoy Charlie Quinn's Rehearsal Space is the Place.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, fine. Listen, I've got to go. Yeah, I told you I have a block of time when I'm not taking calls, okay? Cool? Yeah, I'll call you back. Yeah, all right, bye.
Is this room 4B?
Yeah, but I've got the space for another hour. Who are you?
Oh, no, that must be a mistake. I have a reservation here too.
Oh, fuck! Really? They promised me I'd have the space alone before the next show came in. Look, I've got the reservation right here.
I mean, look, I can show you the reservation that I got right here.
Huh?
Oh, shit.
Looks like we're stuck here together.
What do you mean stuck here? And what do you mean together? I can leave at any time, and so can you.
Yeah, right. But then you lose your money. I'm sure you read the policy. All bookings are final, no refunds, no exceptions. They give you a specific space, they tell you where the space is, and off you go. The where isn't the point, it's the going.
So you're telling me I'm basically carpooling, but in a rehearsal space?
Essentially, yeah.
But I was supposed to be alone in here.
I know.
All by myself.
I know.
Despite the fact that I know it's a space meant for a group of people, I mean, I know sometimes people will book a space for warm-ups or to get through a piece before it goes up. I don't know, I just like the idea of having a space that's meant for a group all to myself. Not for forever, just for a little while.
Sure.
And there's nobody that you can get in touch with today?
Nope.
Oh, come on, I'm sure they're available to talk on the phone.
Well, you can try the booking team, but they're all remote on Wednesdays.
And of course, straight to voicemail. Shit. Isn't there supposed to be like someone managing the space?
Yeah, he sent me up.
Yeah, is that like the space manager or something?
No, I didn't see him today. I think he was the facilities coordinator.
Great.
Listen, there's a solution that will solve both my dilemma and yours.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. The solution is you can just go and I can have the rehearsal room space that I booked for myself.
Oh, you mean my space? That I booked.
Look, you know there was always a possibility that the place would be double booked. It's in the policy handbook.
I am aware of the policy handbook. I read the policy handbook. I just wanted a space to myself. I wanted that. I needed that.
Well, we can't always get what we want. I'm Tom, in case they ask who I'm booked with.
Alice.
Nice to make your acquaintance. You know, you seem fine and all, but it's... I gotta be honest with you. Even with me being familiar with the policy handbook, they told me that this wouldn't happen.
Who?
The studio team. Most efficient bookings, they said. They always brag about the streamlined process, and then this shit happens.
Right, because that's my problem.
Listen, all I wanted was a nice, quiet time. The world is shitty enough as it is. Running away from it is the only thing that makes sense. And it's the only way that I don't feel like the wind is going out of my sails for good.
So I take it you're an actor?
How could you tell?
Because You know the ins and outs of these rehearsal spaces like the back of your hand.
Well, at one point I did. I'm retired now, but I used to be an actor. Yeah, mainly off-Broadway. Off-Broadway. Lots of summer stock. Came close to Broadway, too. Yeah, I was a standby a couple of times. It's a hell of a thing. Waiting in the wings. And I don't mean just metaphorically. I mean physically waiting in the wings during the show. Waiting for the call that almost comes but never does. And yourself? Are you a fellow traveler? Trod the boards too?
I am more of an admirer of the performing arts, not someone who participates in them. I work at an advocacy nonprofit, but my best friend, she's an actor herself, and she told me about this space and its very relaxed booking policies. So she told me it's, you know, a great space and no production necessary. I don't even have to be in a cast, no offense.
None taken.
So yeah, here I am, and you know what, she was right about the appeal. It's, when no one else is here, it's really quiet.
There's the rub.
Exactly. But this isn't the case. I don't want to leave though.
Neither do I. Look, can I ask you something?
Okay.
What are you hiding from?
Excuse me?
Well, when you showed me your phone, it said that you booked the space for a long amount of time, an hour and a half. People don't book that long amount of time unless they're doing something big. I mean, ensemble rehearsal, maybe, sitz prep if it's a musical, stuff like that. I mean, it only happens if people are really running away, unless they're working on a solo piece.
Funny, I saw on your paper that you had a good chunk of time, like 2.5 hours? What's that phrase about glass houses and throwing stones?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm retired. I don't have a job to go to anymore, nor do I want one. My Social Security can pay for any amount of rehearsal hours as I damn well want to have.
Well, that doesn't change the fact about why you asked me if I'm running, like I'm on the lam or
I
something.
didn't say you were on the lam. People hide from the world all the time. Everybody's got their reasons. What are yours?
Oh, textbook deflection. You're asking me what my reasons are so you can avoid talking about your own reasons.
Now, there's nothing to discuss.
Oh, I think there is, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
What are you doing here? I'm sorry, but I'm booked for...
Let me guess, room 4B.
Yes.
The hits just keep on coming.
I didn't realize that we could...
Share spaces? Yeah, I know, I had that shock too. Welcome to administrative limbo. It's just way less fun than physical limbo.
Cool. Well, listen, I don't have time for this. I thought this was like a meditation space or something, and I have to...
Have a space where you can just let yourself have some peace and quiet, lest you fall apart. Don't worry, we had that same response, at least I did. See, here in room 4B, one of us clearly knows the ropes about whatever the fuck this space is.
Oh, come on, you barely know me.
You're right, I don't. But you gave me shit from the second I walked in here. This man thought it was his space. Typical.
I'm sorry you're dealing with this, but I don't have a lot of time, and I need
Welcome to the club. We all needed this space, and they double booked, triple booked us, as you can see. You get it. I'm Alice.
Eliza. And you are?
Tom,
Okay, so I need you both to leave. I booked this, and I need it.
So did I, and I have proof.
did you read the policy handbook?
What handbook? Look, fuck it. It doesn't matter. I need the space. Now. Probably more than either one of you do. Look, I thought this was like a meditation room and not a space for what? Rehearsals? Whatever. I'm not even an actor. I just Googled quiet rooms in Midtown. And this is what came up. Anyway, I'm here for 45 minutes. It's all I can afford. And frankly, it gives me time to get back. I just don't know if I could spend much longer in here mentally. I've heard that spending long periods of time alone really fucks with your mental health.
Well, let's just agree to disagree. I think it would be great if I had the chance.
For the first time, we agree on something.
And God fucking knows, I need all the good mental health I can get right now. It also means that I'm in and out quickly. I can get back home and get on with my caregiving shift.
Caregiving shift?
It's for my sister. She has stage 4 breast cancer. It metastasized to her brain.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. She doesn't have long, so I'm in rotation with friends, cousins, and nurses. So she won't be by herself around the clock. But honestly, if I had the chance to go back and do my accounting shit work and not watch her die, I would do so in a heartbeat.
I'm so sorry. There's no shame in doing what you need to do. We're all doing the best we can.
And yet, here you both are, booked into a space that was supposed to be mine. Sorry, that was rude.
I just told you I was booked here. Weren't you listening?
Sure, I doubt it. Men who think they know everything tend not to listen.
No, listen here.
Oh, now he wants me to listen to him. Isn't that rich?
I get that both of you are having a moment, and if you need to finish that somewhere else, please fucking do. I just need a moment to just exist before I go back home where I smell decay and grief the moment I walk in. You know, it's not that my sister and I aren't close, it's just that I can't take care of her, all of her right now.
It's never a bad thing to ask for help. Too many of us go it alone because we're supposed to be rugged individuals or some bullshit like that. It's okay not to be okay. Sometimes we need to fall apart so we can come back together again.
I guess.
What is your problem? Are you still annoyed that the booking team fucked up?
I established that already.
Oh, fucking please, have some compassion. And furthermore, answer your own damn question.
Which is?
What are you running from? What gets you so pissed at the world that you have to hide in a rehearsal room for hours on end?
Says the other person who has been in this space and is going to be in this space for over an hour. And if you remember, I asked you that first.
Right, but that doesn't change the fact
No,
that
no, I am not going before you do. Ladies first.
Fine. You want an answer? My wife and I are getting a divorce. 5 years of marriage and a failed surrogate pregnancy later, and she decided to leave me for someone she works with.
Oh, fuck.
And the divorce proceedings are, of course, absolute fucking hell. I'm staying with friends, so I'm physically safe, but it's the reams of paperwork and legal bullshit that are getting me down. We are fighting over every little asset. And of course, she's a lawyer, so she knows exactly how to play it in court. It's just... We were so in love once, and now that's just gone. She was as vulnerable as I ever got with someone, and now that's just, that love's gone.
It'll come back. Not right now. You just need to focus on yourself.
I know, it's just living through it that's hard. Your turn.
Oh, fuck.
Come on. You asked and I delivered. Eliza delivered and she just fucking got here. Your turn.
All right, fine, if you really must know. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, my wife died after a long illness due to ALS. It was the most brutal goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. Seeing someone you love just slowly deteriorate in front of you day after day after day. It's something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. To see the life force, the spark that you fell in love with just go bit by bit. But there's still something in the eyes. Even when the body fails, there's still someone that you know. Anyway, life just sort of sucked after that. So I chose booking time in rehearsal rooms instead of facing the pain of the real world. And there's reminders of her all over the apartment. Pictures of her too. Sometimes, when it's really quiet during the day, I think she's just over there, in the next room. Anyway, that's why I came here. At least I know she's not coming, and I can sit with that. I don't have to have my heart broken over and over again.
Hey, it's okay. We've all been through shit. You're not alone.
Yeah. I know, but acknowledging it just makes it seem real, and of course, I know I'm not alone. I've got friends who are still alive. It's not the same. Not even close, you know?
Hey, here's a thought. Why don't you tell me something good about your wife?
Really? You care to hear that?
Why not?
Oh, God, I don't know where to start.
Wherever you want.
Well, I don't want to bore you.
No, don't worry, he won't. I can share something about my life after, the good times at least.
And I can talk about my sister. I've heard that good memories can really help soften the blow.
I've heard that too.
Well, who wants to go first?
And who wants to go next?
We'll figure it out. We have time. And if we're all in limbo, at least we're all in limbo together.
Oh boy. How wonderful was that? Come on, you guys. All right. What a great way to get this whole thing started. I have to tell you, when I read the script, I really loved it. I thought it was a great way to start the order of the shows that we were doing that evening, because I loved the idea that it started in a rehearsal room, which is exactly where we were performing all of this. I'm just curious, and I'm going to ask all of you this question, because normally I would sort of start with Charlie and say, "Hey, what made you think of this?" But you were all there, so what was your opening discussion like in terms of helping to create this play? And let's start with you, Steve.
Oh, our opening, we first met on Zoom about 3 days after the groups were picked. And actually, I think we all just shared our histories, our background interests. I don't uh, I don't remember Charlie actually talking. I don't think he had anything specific in mind.
Mhm.
And his first draft was not in a rehearsal room.
Okay.
It was, oh, I forget the word he used. If anybody remembers the word he used, let me
I
know.
think liminal space.
Yes, liminal space.
Okay.
It was kind of this nebulous, little science fiction feel to it almost.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, and after you asked about our first meeting, but in our second meeting, I remember the actors asking, kind of needing a little more something to hang their hat on, kind of like, where are we?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, and it went on from there.
Yeah.
Charlie was very literal in his second draft. He he decided it was a rehearsal room, and then everything, all the details of renting a rehearsal room, entered the script.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
I thought that worked out really well, especially for all of us who have had to book rehearsal rooms, and you walk in a rehearsal room and there's another group there. Maybe they hadn't finished up yet, or sometimes they think they have longer than they do, and it becomes a problem. We've had these problems before. Um, it's interesting because to me it starts as being very funny in that regard, but it then touches on something that's really serious, which is that idea of just wanting to have space to be alone, to try to, especially in this town. Um, how did this? And I won't ask for the first draft because obviously I didn't know in the first draft that it was sort of a nebulous space. It makes more sense when you can ground it in a reality. Um,
Mhm.
uh, how did you guys? How did this impact you when you all first read it? Like, what were your thoughts? John, you start.
Well, it made so much more sense when we had a specific place that we were in, especially because my character was an actor.
Mm,
And it made total sense that this is the space that is comfortable to me,
mhm,
where I can go and just be by myself and have some quiet time and get away from all the personal trauma of losing someone and having to deal with all the memories that were there.
mhm.
Um, so it actually made much more sense with the final draft that we had,
Yeah.
to me anyway. Also, I felt that he captured something in the speeches that was very personal to me, especially the first part. I said to him, "You must have studied my resume before you wrote that speech
Oh,
because it was so right."
mhm,
Um, and also, I felt that the second speech was very well written and it really captured a vulnerability of the character.
mhm.
So I no, I thought it really made a giant leap from the first draft to the second.
Yeah. That's so exciting to hear. I find the process the fact that we work in such a concentrated period of time, it asks a lot of everybody, but especially of the writer. And the fact that the thoughts that you all brought to him after reading that first draft really helped fuel something that came in that was much better, much cleaner, I think.
Mhm.
Um, uh, what about you? I'm going to ask Anne Flanigan first because I'm waiting for you last, Anne, because this is the first time you're working with us, which is really cool. So, how about, yeah, what were your thoughts in doing this work?
Um, I remember our first meeting.
Mm,
Charlie had asked us, if I remember correctly, kind of why we do this, why we perform, like what about it? if I remember correctly. And I felt like he took what he heard and then kind of built that into into the script and kind of some of what is a driving force under what's
Mhm.
happening there, I felt like came from what we had shared with him that first day. So I thought that was really so impressive how he was able to do that. And then like John was sharing, over the course of well, John and Steve, over the course of several iterations, he just kept taking in what people shared, what people asked, and continued to evolve it. So I think that's seeing it today is so interesting because I don't know about everybody else, but I don't usually watch myself. I don't
I
usually
know.
watch performances.
I know.
Um, so it's really interesting to see like how it all truly came together at the end.
Mhm. I was thrilled with it, by the way, you guys. I mean, it's so much fun to see how you're working like when you're in the same space together. One of the reasons why it becomes fun to do the intensives in a hybrid format is because when we first started them, we always did them live. It was always you always had to be in that room as part of it, and that is so exciting as an actor because when you have the audience right there, when you're doing it online, you don't feel the audience as much, but yet you get the sense that it's a performance. There is an excitement to it, but it's a very different feeling. And a lot of what we do here is to try to make the sort of the thesis statement is that whether we're performing online or whether we're performing in a room, it's still performance. It's still theater. The way we choose to do it. I could not compare virtual work with live work. From our viewpoint, I believe the live is always going to be better and much more gratifying. It's not the same thing. That said, the fact that you're able to still work and create on this platform and to be able to have an impact as you do, as I've seen happen so many times, is very exciting. So Anne, this is your first time working with us. I want to know what you like, what you thought, because when you came into this, I know that you didn't know a lot of how it was going to work and how we were going to do things. Um, what did you think?
Oh, well, I thought it was great. Um, from the beginning, it was very collaborative. Um, there was just there was a wonderful chemistry between all of us. It's as if we've known each other some time. I mean, that's the way I felt. I felt a sense of familiarity and comfort. And, we could talk openly about our thoughts, about our characters.
Mhm.
It started out a bit more existential.
Yeah.
And then Charlie, with the title change, he became more concrete.
Mhm.
So I think in that way, for me, there was a shift in, how as a character, where I was.
Mhm.
I wasn't floating in limbo, although, and I think it really did a great job with relationships. I mean, immediately I had the sense, there was this connection between Alice and John, and there's Eliza and her story. I think just most of all, there's just a sense of congeniality. There was conflict, but I just thought I thought it was just wonderful how we worked together
Mhm.
and made the story real, and there was a connectivity, relatable.
Mhm.
There was a great relatable quality to it. But yeah, I'm just thrilled. Like Alice, I'm just kind of freaked out at watching myself. But, after you get used to it, like, oh, okay, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of breaking through that little barrier of, oh my God. Yeah. But once you do, and you start to watch yourself, I think there's a certain liberation that this is the worst I can look. But, it's, yeah, so, I'm just thrilled.
I had toyed with the idea, and I very briefly toyed with the idea of, since we do this screen sharing, and you would appear when we share the screen on the very top of the frame. I thought maybe I should ask you to stay on camera because I'd love to see your reactions of watching yourself. I know how hard that is. Believe me, I get it completely. Um, there's one other thing that I think is interesting about this play that I just thought of, and it's really that idea of, and why I think it might become so important and relatable in the scheme of this particular play. I know that not that you don't all play actors in this piece, but you are all performers. So the rehearsal room is sort of a very interesting space because it is a space where it's kind of miraculous how like you create things in this room, like things happen in this room. All of the work that you do, we always say that the rehearsal room is a safe space. You want to be able to try things without fear of embarrassing yourself or without fear of doing something stupid. There is no stupid. You got to try a lot of things before you can finally where like the role that you're playing and how everything comes together just clicks. So it really is a space that you build things, you create things in that space. So it's kind of symbolic in a sense that you all want to spend time in this space alone because you need, but there's such potential. And by the end of this piece, you do create something, the three of you, in the relationships that you all create with each other, and the support that you give to each other, which is really a beautiful thing. So I like the fact that it is in a rehearsal space because in the end, it sort of stays true to the whole concept of what that room is for anyway. So I love that. I want to talk to Steve because Steve has worked with us for so many years now. Oh, what? All over, well,
14, 13, something like that.
yeah, since 2014 is when you started working with us. 13. Can't remember. Anyway, but Steve said he wanted to direct. So this was the first time that he directed for us. I know he's done a lot of other work before. I want to know how that felt, Steve. I'd share. Would you share that with us?
Well, it's interesting the nature of the intensive. It's a very short period of time. And it took me a while, honestly, to figure out should I be concentrating on, you know, uh, looking at the script with Charlie to see, how I envision various conversations, various, you know, lines, anything, or working with the actors in their interpretations or staging it. There's a lot to do in a very little bit of time.
Yep.
And it's figuring out how to navigate what we have, like 6 hours of rehearsal, I think, total, or even less, spread out over 3 different rehearsals.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was like kind of a lot to try to wrap my head around.
Mhm.
Um, I do want to say, before I forget, there was one line listening today that I never like grasped onto, that okay, I'm getting older, and recently I started looking to see how, when I get of retirement age, what I will collect on Social Security. And there's a line in there about, and John, you can tell me what it was, about, I'm on Social Security. I can get as many hours as I want.
Mhm.
And I thought, oh, no, you can't. Not with paid Social Security and the cost of a rehearsal room. You got 3 hours a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Written by someone who's not at retirement age.
Yeah,
Right.
Charlie's not near retirement age. You wouldn't know. But that just made me laugh when I was listening
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no, no, I
Yeah.
should have said something about that earlier.
Yeah.
I have to talk. I have to bring Tucker into this because we know when we normally do our intensive, Tucker is the he's our tech guru. He's here every intensive. Okay, whenever we're doing our virtual stuff, he did not come to the live show because he was standing by at home to hook up the live stream, which never happened. So he never got to see these shows. So this was his first time really. All right, you saw it in this, you had the video beforehand, but I want to know what you thought of it, Tucker.
I thought it was great and it reminded me a lot of shows that we produced. I need to I got I got guitar lessons.
Yeah, the guitar lesson piece was
We are 3 people meeting in a room and they all found out they knew they a family member and they were connected through the guitar and the play reminded me a lot where you all sit down doing at the end talking while you're a little.
yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful. I get that. When we did Anita's play, it was interesting because we were in the middle of a pandemic. And so the idea of everyone going online for this online guitar lesson, we actually did stage that one live as well, which was wonderful. Yes, I know you, and you were there. Yeah, so it was such a beautiful piece because in the face of loss, you had this great connection where everyone sort of finds each other through this. And that's sort of what happens here. I think it's so important. What I find really, really important is that play was written during the pandemic, and we were all still in a process of being isolated from each other.
Mhm.
And yet here we are now, and this all happens where everyone sort of randomly meets in a room and everyone wants to be alone, but yet it's just that I guess message of how much we need each other.
Mhm.
You know, I find myself saying this over and over and over again, and I'm sorry if I've said it to you guys, and I know Tucker and Steve have heard it a million times. It's just right now I feel our world is so divided and so split apart in so many ways, and even if we take the political elements out of the equation, it's the fact that our world has gotten so used to sort of we live digitally. We you don't even I've been in places where you'll have 3 people in a room together and they don't talk to each other, they text each other and they're in the same room, and it's like, why? The connection of the human connection is the most important thing. It's what I think we need as artists, and that's what we do as actors. Without the audience in a live performance, it's missing so much.
a quick question.
Yes.
Why did the cancer brought up?
Why was cancer brought up? That's really a question I think that you'd have to ask the playwright, but do you guys have any thoughts about that? Because everyone's going through a crisis. There was cancer that was brought up. There was ALS that was brought up. There was a divorce that was brought up. Three very devastating crises that everybody was going through.
I think the idea was that we were all facing a different crisis, but we all felt very much alone, and we needed apparently to be in an empty room by ourselves to deal with it.
Mhm.
Although, of course, in the course of the play, you do find out that we really do need each other. And that's the only way we can get through these crises.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure that he had any more thought about it than that. I'd have to ask Charlie. But I just got the impression that it was important that each of us was going through something traumatic,
Mhm.
and that this was the way we dealt with it.
I think that's great. I think it's really important. And I also think it's important in terms of loss and grief in our world. I think we oftentimes, when someone has gone through a traumatic event, a loss of some sort, we are, you immediately, there's usually an immediate rush of people who will always be there to say, I'm so sorry, if there's anything you need. And that is very short-lived. It exists for a time, and then it
Yeah.
goes away. And we're all expected to assume that after a week or two or three, we're back to normal and everything's fine. And that's never the case. Grief, however it happens, whether it's the loss of a loved one, whether it's a health issue that you're experiencing, whether it's the end of a relationship, they all take a lot of time to process. And most people can't be bothered with it. You sort of have to put on a face when you go outside and you don't talk about it. And it's hard to do that a lot of times. There are so many days that you don't want to play that game anymore. So I can understand the idea of wanting to just have a place where you could take that off and whatever, just let it go, be alone, have some peace, cry, whatever you want to do. But it just shows this connection of how it's so wonderful to have a group of people who can support each other through a difficult time. I wish you could say that of all your friends or family, but it doesn't always work that way. So I in the end, I thought this was a really lovely piece. It introduces a lot of really wonderful ideas that I think are essential. So my one last question before we sign off and move on to the next screening of it. Hope you guys don't mind screening it twice. Maybe the second time you'll see something different. And it is to ask all of you. I have to ask. I'm going to ask you first, Anne, because again, this is your first time working with us. But I want to sort of ask specifically Anne and John, because they've done our virtual intensives with us. And this is the first time we're doing something very different where we're screening something that you get to watch. Normally, you get to perform and then you talk about the performance afterwards. You don't really see yourself performing. Tonight, you got to see yourself perform. So I'm going to ask you first, Anne. What do you think? What did you think of
I think it's really good to watch yourself to get over that, anxiety. Because, there are just things that you do that you're not aware of when you're doing them. And when you watch them, you're aware. And as an actor, there's the people, oh, I'm slipping down too much, or they're projecting out. And these things you can't know until you watch yourself.
Sure.
So I think it's a great, you know, if you're serious about what you do, you have to watch yourself so that you can be better, because otherwise, you know, there's no way you would know. So yeah, I think it's great being able to watch yourself. And after a while, you know, I'm just becoming enthralled with watching yourself. Like, wow,
Mhm.
this is this is me, you know, doing this is me doing that. So I'm glad we could watch ourselves, really.
Yeah.
It just makes you better what you did.
I think it's interesting. For me, it's always that idea of, wait, I was feeling this. Did that come across in how in did it come across? You know, and sometimes you watch yourself and you say, I don't think it came across, or maybe it was too much or something. I don't know. It's very hard to watch yourself. But I get it's also very important. You have to be very objective about it. What about you, Anne? What do you think? And how does it differ from what you normally do on these intensives?
Um, I think Anne made a good point about maybe some of the benefits one can get from watching, watching oneself. However, I do not enjoy it, and I generally will not do it. Um, but in terms of how it differs, yeah, it's so different.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's incredibly different from the others. Like you said, usually you're either doing it live in person or doing it in this virtual setting, but never kind of having like this almost like this dual piece here where we did it live and now we're watching ourselves in this virtual setting. So it's kind of this like alternate reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, other than to say it's very different, an interesting experience for me, but it does not make me want to watch myself more.
Well, I will say it's wonderful to watch you work. As a person who's
Thanks.
not you, it's wonderful to watch you, all of you. I mean, it's just really such a lovely experience because it's hard to realize the impact you have, even when you're watching. Because if you watch it now, we'll see how you feel the second time around. I just think it's fun to sort of the first time you tend to watch yourself and say, no. But when you can sort of see it in a little more objectively from the impact that you have, the way how you're moving, your reactions, the way the audience is reacting off of you, it kind of gives you a different perspective on it, which I think is interesting. How about you, John? And again, I know you've done a lot of you've done film, you've done television, and you've done a lot of theater, but
Well, mostly theater, actually. I've done a lot of recordings lately of basically narrating books. And that's a different experience because I try not to listen to myself when I'm doing it, but I have to.
yeah.
Because for the most part, I don't have an engineer that I'm working with. And if I make a mistake, I have to catch myself. So there's a part of me which is always listening to what I'm saying.
Mhm,
Now, this was very different from me seeing this performance. First of all, I guess I had forgotten that it was being taped.
mhm,
And so I was not even aware of the camera, which was good
mhm,
because otherwise I think I would have been terribly self-conscious
mhm.
knowing that we were being filmed.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. And I was more concerned about just doing the play. And, it's kind of fun to see how it turned out.
Mhm,
But yeah, it is a different experience seeing yourself on film or television or whatever. Um, I'm with Alice. I really don't like watching myself uh, on screen at all. I think, oh my God, I look terrible. What
mhm.
am I doing? And why am I doing that?
Oh, I get it.
But
Oh, I get it.
yeah, yeah, but
Mhm.
it's educational. you know.
It is educational and it's great fun to be able to share your wonderful work in this way. At least coming into tonight, there's not a lot of pressure. of like, oh, we have to perform again and I have to get my energy ready for whatever. It's already done. It's kind of like attending a screening of your, it's like the world premiere of a movie or something.
Yeah. What I found interesting too is having done some of the Zoom performances, some of the material I think works better in Zoom than it does live. Now, I think our play worked very well live, and I'm glad we did it live, but it's totally up to the material, which works better in which medium.
Yeah.
And so it was fun to see it, but I also miss doing it live. So
For sure.
anyway, yeah,
sure.
it was fun to see it.
Well, I'm thrilled that we were able to, and I'm just so grateful to all of you. So listen, we have a few minutes left. I'm going to let you guys get off the air because I want to wrap this up, and then we'll jump on to the next screening. But I want to thank you all. Like, really, such amazing work. All of you. I'm very proud of you all. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It's such a great treat to be able to share our work with you whenever we do an intensive, but to be able to share the work that we did live. This was sort of a making lemonade out of lemon situation. We just felt we were so devastated that we couldn't share this with you in a live stream. But to be able to share it this way is kind of a fun way of doing it. So thank you for tuning in. We're going to be doing this all week, folks. We're here until Saturday. So we have a show every night, 7:30 on YouTube, 8:30 on Facebook. So we're going to do another one in a few minutes. So if you really want to see it again, you get to see a double feature and you can log right onto Facebook. So we hope that you'll do that. Tomorrow we have a really great piece by one of my favorite writers. His name is Peter Mark. I've known Pete for ages. He's written for TBTB for many, many years. He was actually working with TBTB longer than I've been here. I've been here since 1997, so he's been here longer than that. And he wrote this really, I will call it adorable piece called Drink Your Tea. It was directed by Graydon Gund, and we had an incredible cast of artists: Grant Neal, Sergio Hugolini, and Melanie Porci. So we hope you'll tune in 7:30 right here, 8:30 on Facebook. Please tell your family, tell your friends. We want to be able to share our work with you. You can see all of our other work too. You can see our other virtual plays that we did from in addition to these 6, we did 6 other ones. And we also have all of our past intensives that are on our website, tbtb.org. If you just click on our archives, you can see everything. Which is really exciting. If you're in town when we're doing live shows, we would love to have you. Most importantly, if you like the work that you see and you want to support us, click the donate button on the top of our homepage, tbtb.org, and become one of our partners in art. We really value our supporters. You become a partner in everything that we do, and we really want to be able to share our work with you in that way. It's very, very important to us. So again, thank you all so much for being a part of this. We hope you'll tune in tomorrow and for the nights to come. And until then, have a wonderful night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.